So then, looks like we've actually only got ourselves 2 more cups left until the entirety of this Let's Play will be finished. So even then, I just want to classify that out there in case if I just want to keep you guys update for it. So, hey, what is up ladies and gentlemen, I am Sonic the Hedgehog here, and I'm back for some more of yet again, for the likes of the Mexi Toys videos. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Mario Kart Super Circuit for the Game Boy fans. So last time we have managed to completely done with the forms of, well, specifically the Extra Star Cup, and despite we actually got into second place position in Mario Circuit 4 just because Bowser didn't manage to catch me up all of a sudden. So today, for this episode, is the fact that rather than just taking on the forms of the normal Special Cup, instead, we're going to have to, as I said before in the previous parts, that I'm actually going to be doing is completely opposite, because on the forms of today, which is of course the 25th of July, which is on Saturday I'm presuming, that I need to mainly focusing on Extra Special Cup first, and then I'll promise you guys tomorrow, then we should probably take on the forms of the true Final Cup in Mario Kart Super Circuit, meaning the, of course, the normal Special Cup as it is. So either way though, let's get this thing to it on the forms of the first track in Extra Special Cup, and that will have to be Koopa Beach 2. And afterwards though, we can hit on to Ghost Valley 3, which is a track I'm not a big fan of, honestly, either. And also Vanilla Lake 2, and of course Rainbow Road, specifically in Super Mario Kart version. So either way, yeah, that's all much else I can say about this for this point right there. So, yeah, as I said before already, we've only got about 2 more cups left until the entire Let's Play of Mario Kart Super Circuit will be finished by then, for the majority of the forms of this entire weekend and stuff like that. So, excuse me, I really do sorry about that for that awkward commentary for the sake of time, folks, just because yet again I just have to concentrate, and also same implies that I accidentally just managed to eat myself some of those other selections of chili dogs every now and then. But even then though, I'm pumped for it, and I'm might as well able to actually just to be all sorted and ready for action basically. So either way, and as far as you guys can clearly tell for this point is the fact that these will be the last set of Super Mario Kart tracks in new forms within Mario Kart Super Circuit, at least for now on. So because of that though, we've only just got ourselves about 8 tracks left in total. So either way though, well, we've already done one already, which is of course Koopa Beach 2. So as a result, we've only got about 7 tracks left. So here we go, on to Ghost Valley 3. So, but then again, as I said this before already, I'm not exactly a big fan in terms of Ghost Valley 3 either, just because much like in Bowser Castle 2, specifically in, you know, in Super Mario Kart, it's just that this particular track can get pretty difficult though, especially how you have to deal with the forms of Super Circuit's physics and mind, and then especially noticeable how the fact that you have to get a lot of emphasis on some, you know, careful positioning when it comes to acceleration and everything like that, because that's what I was attempting to do for the majority of this Let's Play, and I just realized that me and Mario just got clashed into each other, which, gotta think about it though, it is kind of weird to say the least. So either way though, we can expect this much. So yeah, I digress. Oh wow, direct hit from that green shell by Ownage by Peach. So how's that for that? Now if you couldn't tell already, that because I'm actually going to be reselecting Yoshi again, this is probably because that I'm actually going to be doing something completely different in terms of those 2 videos as it is, or the last 2 videos of this, or the final 2 videos I should say, for the likes of this entire Let's Play. I'm actually going to be Wario! How dare you shove me off? Anyway, I'm going to be selecting the random selections of characters in between both Extra Special Cup as well as the normal Special Cup from the likes of Super Circuit. And as a result of that kinds of stuff though, it doesn't really matter what characters I'm going to be selecting again. So it's kind of like the same thing for how it does it in Super Mario Kart for sure. So either way though, it might be a little bit more too similar from here, except obviously we can't select the actual Koopa Troopa this time around, and neither did Donkey Kong Jr. for this point, because, you know, Donkey Kong is now taking over for its place in journey forms of the later installments of the Mario Kart series for the majority of the time. So, you know, you get the idea for that point right there. So, Alright, so now let's move on to Vanilla Lake 2. In this case, the last of the Vanilla Lake tracks, specifically in Super Mario Kart, and especially noticeable in Super Circuit, if you want to include that. So, yeah, thankfully though, although despite I've managed to go into 2nd place on Ghost Valley 3, sadly, just because that Wario man, he just managed to shove me off. I mean, seriously, what the heck? Anyway though, for Vanilla Lake 2, as you can see, that there's a ginormous puddle that we need to jump over, because if we somehow don't jump over, then otherwise we'll be able to actually become frozen and stuff like that. And also, I forgot to mention something right away. You lose about a few seconds until you're able to actually went into the water, because as a result, that can get pretty annoying, especially noticeable if you really want to get back into its position. Specifically, if you want to aim for first or anything like that for that besides, then you have to be able to try to cope with the forms of some slow recovery and stuff like that if you really want to go back onto certain routines and stuff. So, but luckily for me, I managed to get myself my triple green shells to defend myself, so that way I could be able to potentially try to, well, I don't know if I can usually aim at any other opponents per se, because I'm pretty sure some of those players have already gone past the finish line already, so, oh well, no big deal. And here we go, folks, on to the final track in the forms of the Extra Cups department, which is, of course, Rainbow Road, specifically from Super Mario Kart, basically. So, either way, though, but unlike any forms of how it does it in the Super Circuit, Rainbow Road, which we'll discuss more about it until tomorrow, that it does have this very, very cool reference in Junior forms of in Super Circuit's Rainbow Road, which, again, we'll discuss more about it until tomorrow, as I said. And I just realized about something, there is no invincibility forms to be signed around here, so I'm guessing this track makes things a little bit more easier this time around as opposed to the ones in the original Super Mario Kart, although it will be still pretty tricky as you can see, just because there are no guardrails to be signed around here, unlike in Mario Kart 64, that it does have some, a lot of emphasis on guardrails and stuff like that, which that could be a little bit, same applies for Double Dash, DS, and Wii, 7, and especially noticeable with, I would say 8 specifically, / 8 Deluxe if you will, but at least even then we can expect for the forms of challenging tasks or something like that, so... But you know, you get the idea for that point. So either way though, and I think this will actually be the last time we're going to be seeing the 5-lap system as a result for the majority of the Mario Kart series of Let's Plays from now on, because, well, it wasn't until whenever we get on to Mario Kart Double Dash, which it will be appearing until when it gets to Autumn at some point, then we could expect we can able to actually just to see if some cool, nifty tracks in that game. So either way though, along with that cool mechanic in Journey forms of Double Dash, which either way though, we'll talk more about it until when it gets in the future. Ah, dang it, Wario, you did it again! You did shove me off again! Oh, how dare you, Wario? How rude. Oh my god, what is going on with him? Ah, jeez. So there goes my another second right here, which either way, I'm hoping we can actually get ourselves a tie victory, which either way, we did manage to get ourselves a tie-weight game, so even then, that's all cool, fine and dandy and everything, but I cannot even believe I almost got get myself screwed over by that specific portion at the end. Like, either way, it is incredibly scary kind of thing about it. Oh yeah, I just realized about something, is the fact that on the actual tally points, I would short you about the fact that it looks like none of those players doesn't seem to have that much points. Specifically, Mario and Luigi both got 8 points, which... really? Anyway, so I guess we'll end things off at this point right there. So join me tomorrow for more of Let's Play of Mario Kart Super Circuit. We'll be the finale of this game's Let's Play. Because of that, I'm going to be focusing on the final cup in the whole entire game, which is of course Special Cup in Journey forms of Mario Kart Super Circuit version of that. So see you guys tomorrow. Later, fellas.